Anita Sarkeesian is back, and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think I could fix her. Anita, hit me up. I'm gonna make you a right wing grifter sooner or later. And I'm just joking. I mean, she's way better looking than Mercante, but let's not sexualize or be misogynist towards women. Anita Sarkeesian, if you guys aren't aware, feminist frequency. She was at the head of the first Gamergate. She's back. She's literally back. She has a website. She's giving consulting. I guess I'm giving her free advertising here. You go to her website. She's giving inclusive video game design support, and she's saying that she works for Devolver, Landfill, Ubisoft, just to name a few people. She's given herself credentials saying with over a decade of experience as a feminist media critic and founder of a nonprofit dedicated to inclusive representation. So she's basically doing what Sweet Baby Inc. is doing, and that's wokeifying stuff, going in there, making sure that they have DEI points and clout, that there's a certain amount of LGBTQ representatives, persons of colors in the game. You know, maybe not to the extent that Sweet Baby Inc. is doing, but we can't let loose. We got to remember Anita Sarkeesian was like at the forefront. She was everything leading up to what we see today. But honestly, I got to tell you guys, if I was to deal with the lesser of two evils between somebody like Anita Sarkeesian or an Alyssa Mercante, I would rather deal with Anita Sarkeesian because at least when you look at what she says, what she does, like look at this, she has stuff laid out. She has a game plan. She's organized. She's done panels in public. She's never challenged anybody to a fight. Her behavior on social media is not as bad or as cringe as Alyssa Mercante's, to where she's contacting people's wives, things of that nature, right? I would rather deal with Anita Sarkeesian all day because at least it seems like she's actually engaged, held debates, talked and had conversations with people. I could be mistaken. I know there's people who don't really care for her. For me, I'm I'm not surprised that she's come back. It seems like every company's starting to double down on DEI. You can see that her website is advertising that she's providing services. She says she can begin engagement with you at any point in your development. So you can literally be close to launch. She'll come in. She's offering her work. I mean, she left video games for a while. I think it was like, what, a year ago that she had her wedding where she married herself and she retired from feminine frequency. So I guess I don't know. Maybe times are hard. Maybe she wants to get back into what she's doing. But yeah, she's here. And I've seen a few people talk about the whole situation. For example, Smash JT had a good article on his website saying that she's the grandmother of the original Gamergate. I wouldn't say she's a grandmother. Come on. She's not that old. He says it's a name that stirs up resentment across the gaming industry. She's making a grand return. He called her an insane asylum reject who married herself, this time armed with a brand new consultancy business aimed at inclusive video game design support services. Then he says, let's call it what it really is, another attempt to warp the gaming industry by literally inventing problems that don't exist and pushing her agenda onto unsuspecting developers, all in the name of making a quick buck. And honestly, that's what it is, man. Honestly, all these buzzwords, all this babble that you hear, all these consulting companies come out here, they talk about DEI, they talk about certain individuals and games that need to be represented and marginalized groups and all this like honestly all these people care about is everything but video games. That's really all they care about. They care about everything but actually making video games that are entertaining, video games that are fun, video games that people can enjoy. They have to have political agendas in them. They have to have woke narratives. They have to have uh, certain, I guess, woke criteria inside of them to appease this modern audience that does not exist. This modern audience does not exist, guys. They're not there. They never show up. Suicide Squad, Concord, Dustborn, they've all completely failed. They've all completely flopped and burned. So anytime that a company like Sweet Baby Inc. gets on board with any kind of developer, it fails. So I don't know if this is going to be exactly a good business venture. Again, I guess grandmother of Gamergate. I don't know if she has enough influence or pull as she once did. But you can see she's talking about coming back, providing consultancy, promising to help game developers eliminate problematic dialogue. So that buzzword right there, what problematic dialogue? Is it stuff that's labeled as misogynist and not feminist? Modernize historically problematic content. So are we revising history like, I don't know, making colonizers bad? Like the bullshit that we've seen where that one guy was saying Animal Crossing highlighted Japanese colonialism and stuff like that. I don't know. Smash Ask right here. What does this really mean for games or gamers? More censorship, more I can't even say it. Let me drink my Diet Dr. Thunder right here. More homogenization of stories and more politically motivated content that ends up ruining the fun because controversy breeds dollar bills if you can make a game company feel like they'll be canceled if they refuse to participate. And that's also like with the alleged stuff with Sweet Baby Inc. and Game Science with Black Myth Wukong, where allegedly they were extorting them for $7 million to be like, hey, if you don't comply, you're going to be in Shit's Creek. You're going to get blackballed. We're going to go to your marketing company and scare them for everything. It's a mess, honestly. Now, right here, he hits on the head. Sarkeesian's playbook simple. Invent problems, then swoop in to fix them. She thrives on finding issues where none exist, creating a narrative that video games are riddled with sexism, racism, and other forms of oppression. Her website offers services like eliminating problematic player actions, vague enough to sound like progress, but ultimately translating to more restrictions on creative freedom. Games have been around long before her help, and no one had a problem until some folks found a way to monetize being offended. And honestly, that's the truth. Like for every bit that they want to try to say, right-wing grifters sit here and bitch and cry and complain about stuff they don't like. Look who's fucking talking. Literally, look who's talking. There's companies like Sweet Baby Inc., Anita Sarkeesian, Take This. They're literally developed because they hate what gaming is. They literally want to change it. They literally hate every single thing about gaming to the point where they want to infect DEI. They want to push all this woke ideologies into it. So who's the real grifter at this point, right? So I'm just saying, all right? It goes both fucking ways. Now, I don't know, guys. What do you guys think about Anita coming back? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.